Welcome to the Bucks Cheese and Beer Podcast. I'm Carter here with my co-host Keegan.
Yep.
Let's jump into the news. Starting out in the NFL, Xavier McKinney. It's his birthday today, so happy birthday to him. He's recently said in an interview that he's happy with the Packers and Jeff Hafley's new system. I'll admit when I looked at how he had our linebackers, like he's heavy on the linebacker core.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed already. Like, I think our defense can be really good. I mean, looking at our depth chart, like on DBs, Eric Stokes, Carrington Valentine, Kalen King. I think we really stole him in the 7th.
Oh, yeah.
Xavier McKinney, Javon Bullard. I mean, yeah, what do we? I also have that rookie Evan Williams too. I mean, our safety, just our whole DB core is crazy. On top of, having Quay Walker.
Edrin Cooper.
Yeah, and another comment here. I looked at the depth chart. Edrin Cooper is actually not in the top linebackers. It's Isaiah McDuffie, Quay Walker, and Eric Wilson as the first three.
I think it's just so he can get experience. I think he's definitely gonna split. I think he might split reps with like Eric Wilson later in the season, but
I could see that. I think 56 is a good number for him.
Oh, yeah.
Luke Kuechly, that gives me big Luke Kuechly vibes. Other notes, TJ Slayton starting above Devontae Wyatt and Carl Brooks kind of shocked me. I feel like they were going to give Wyatt more reps, but I suppose maybe switch guys in and out of the D-line there. Preston Smith and Lucas Van Ness, they're going to kill it. Rashawn Gary and Enig Bari are also going to kill it. I mean, our defense, I know every year we say they're top 10. I really think that, like, this year could be the year that we hit that mark of having a top 10 defense.
And I think with, like, fantasy football, too, because we got a brand new – well, not brand new, but our special teams got better because now there's a kicker battle. So, like, there's more pressure, but, like,
I still have hope for Anders Carlson. There's a lot of hate for him after what he did, or after missing that kick. I still think there's hope for him. He's going to be good. I mean, look at his brother Daniel having that setback with the Vikings. They got rid of him, and now he's like a top kicker in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully the Packers look at what the Vikings did and learn from that. Otherwise, it's looking like it's going to be a good year for us. And the Packers preseason, going over their games. Saturday, August 10th, they're going against Cleveland Browns 3:25 p.m. Sunday, August 18th, they're going at Denver 7 p.m. And then Saturday, the 24th, they're coming back to Green Bay to go against the Ravens at noon. I should be able to hopefully get some highlights posted on the TikTok at Jordan Love Season 10. Go give it a follow. We'll get some highlights posted of those games. I'll see what we can figure out about some of these backups we got. Maybe Sean Clifford or that the rookie that we got. What's his name? Michael Pratt. See how good Marshawn Lloyd is. That's going to be quite the battle, I feel like, looking at the depth chart. Marshawn Lloyd, Emmanuel Wilson, and A.J. Dillon. I mean, that's a good running back core, and those are all just backups. I mean, you got Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is going to be solidified as the one for like the next 2-3 years. Unless Marshawn Lloyd is the second coming of Barry Sanders, but I don't think that he'll be that good, but I do think he'll be good.
I think, A.J. Dillon and Marshawn Lloyd definitely going to probably fight for those third down snaps or goal line snaps.
Well, Emmanuel Wilson showed a lot of promise too, and it's like what do we do with him now? Because I mean, running backs are very like easily interchangeable, and the market for them has kind of been dying recently because you can just find really good running backs. It seems like they're pumping them out of college.
I think A.J. Dillon, though, you see his like transformation over the off season. It's looking crazy. I think I don't know. He really wants to stay on the Packers, or I don't know. I have a good feeling about him this season with Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones was just like, I don't know what. He might have been a setback in some way.
Oh yeah. I'm also loving what they're doing with Jordan Morgan. They have him at right guard. Of all places. Like, I was immediately when we drafted him, like, we are not putting him at tackle because Rasheed Walker and Zach Tom are going to lock down those tackle positions. Zach Tom is amazing. Rasheed Walker was definitely serviceable last year. I think he got in enough work over the offseason where he's good now. But Jordan Morgan at that right guard position, I think, is just going to be absolutely. It's going to be something unreal.
It just makes sense though because I know you played tackle in college, but in the NFL, it's a lot different. And I think you could just mold that player into playing right guard, but he could also be a tackle if one of them get injured.
Oh yeah. Um, Even when you look at our like wide receivers here, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, and Jaden Reed named as the three like starters, and then Tavian Wicks, Malik Keith, and my goat Bo Melton, right behind him. I think any of those guys interchangeable. You got Toure, Hicks, and Dubose in the back there too. So we have a lot of depth at wide receiver. I heard someone talking on another podcast, and they were saying that the Packers are so unique that we don't have a star wide receiver. We just have so many good, like solid players, and that's what makes our wide receiver core so good. Like you look at any other team, you could say, oh, Justin Jefferson is the star of the Vikings, Jamar Chase is the star of the Bengals, but we just have such good overall players. There's no one that's like, oh, he's bad or he's really good. We're all just so like solid at the position.
Oh yeah. And I was watching a YouTube video about like it was just like how the Packers are secretly dangerous. Like it was like maybe like 10 days ago. And they described our receiving core as like an NBA team. Like everybody has their own things that they're used for. Kind of like I'd say Romeo Dobbs is like a point guard. He can go I don't know, he just makes the big plays. I'd say or Jaden Reed more like a point guard. Christian Watson's like a small forward and it's like we use him in like third down situations, I think, like third and long.
Oh yeah, and yeah. I mean, I really think that any one of these guys too could hit that stardom level I was talking about. I think it's just really developing right now. Watson's been injured a lot. I wouldn't put him super high on like my top Packers wide receiver list. But I think he could definitely get up there once if he can have a fully healthy season and show what he's capable of. Dobbs, I would say, is my solidified number one, if not Reed.
I really like Dobbs, yeah.
You'd say Dobbs, like even Jordan Love said, he's like Dobbs is the one guy. When I like toss it up to him, he's always gonna be there. He's always just gonna like when he runs. I forget what route he was talking about, but he said when he runs that, he's like every time I lob it up to him, it's just like a guarantee he's gonna come down with it.
I don't know what exact route it was, but like during the playoff game against the Cowboys, I could just see that he was like always open. It was insane, but I think it's just because he has like a playmaker. He's like a playmaker, so like he'll go up and make that catch. He'll go get the extra yards too.
Oh yeah, and I mean even our tight ends, Musgrave and Kraft, they're so underrated. I see people putting them as like, oh, we have the worst tight end room in the NFC North, and it's a hard.
That's true, I think.
It's a hard one because you got Laporta, Hawkinson, and Kmet as like I'd say the three main starters.
Yeah,
and obviously Musgrave or Kraft themselves are not going to beat any of those.
Mm-mm.
But when you look at our depth at tight end, it's crazy, and you have Ben Sims, who I actually watched a little bit of his preseason, and he looks phenomenal. Ben Sims definitely looks like, or even Tyler Davis. I mean, either one of those two as like a blocking tight end and like a three tight end set. That's just gonna be like our run game is gonna cook with them. Musgrave and Kraft. I think there's a debate. I think if Kraft might be a number one because we obviously haven't seen a lot of Musgrave, and Kraft really like did well when Musgrave was out. So maybe boosting Kraft up to the one spot in time might be a thing if Musgrave turns out to not be as good as we hoped. But it's good to know that at least one of the two will probably turn out to be a good tight end out of those.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, like even looking at like our linebacker core again. I saw Hopper was doing really, really well in practice, and they're thinking about maybe even moving him up because our linebackers, like I know during the draft I had mentioned, I said I was like I don't think we need linebackers. I was like we have McDuffie, we have Walker, and that's all about that we need. I think I also said Devondre Campbell at the time. And I think I also maybe mentioned we can move like Preston Smith or something. But I mean, looking at it now, I think it's good that we got Hopper and Cooper. Eric Wilson, I think, will be good at linebacker. But I mean, obviously, he did have that one big play against the Niners, if I remember correctly, where he like just dove on that football and it was an amazing play by him. Hopefully, he can keep up the good work there. But yeah, I think overall the Packers are going to be a good team this year. It's just going to be hopefully coaching gets better, our players are not injured, and we can go deep in the playoffs. That's all. I mean, they also got the new white uniforms. I know they're going to rock against the Texans. There's been a big debate, or there's a big debate on my TikTok page. If you go check it out, people were saying, "Oh, they're going to copy Penn State, copy Penn State." It's like they're not trying to copy Penn State. They're trying to it's
Give the energy.
yeah. It's called a winter warning game, which I think is a really clever name. And then there's also a lot of comments saying we copied the Vikings, copied the Vikings. It's like the Bengals, I want to argue, or maybe not even the Bengals. There's been a lot of teams that have had all white uniforms.
Oh yeah, over the time, yeah. But I think Bengals kind of brought it back to the NFL.
Oh yeah, Bengals definitely brought it back.
But whiteout games aren't just like there's whiteout games for high school. I know there's
you can't really say we're like stealing anything. We're more just bringing it to the.
It's NFL. Such a broad idea that it's not really stealing.
Yeah, there was another big debate on if the Vikings had done a whiteout game when they had white uniforms for a bit, and I don't remember ever hearing about it. I'm not going to say whether they did or not because I could be wrong on that, but. I mean, just for the Packers to do that, I think is going to go really well. I think attendance is going to be high. The energy is going to be high. I had someone also tell me that CJ Stroud, he played against Penn State whiteout and he beat them. It's going to be no problem for him. And he never did. The last time that so he played for Ohio State. Last time Ohio State played Penn State was 2018. Dwayne Haskins in at quarterback, RIP. And he actually did beat him too. So there is some proof, I guess, that Ohio State can beat a Penn State whiteout, but not C.J. Stroud's Ohio State. So we'll see.
Was that the Mobamba whiteout?
I believe so.
It was?
I think so.
No, I thought they played I'll have to check later, but
yeah,
I'll just check right now.
But it's like I just think that the whiteout is such a good idea, and I think the Packers, if they can do it right, can make it something that might be able to stick around, hopefully, and we can keep. The tradition. I also think that people were way overreacting, at least on my TikTok anyways. They were saying these jerseys are terrible. And if you do any bit of research, they never changed the jerseys. They never changed the uniforms at all. It was solely the helmets that they made all white just to complete the white outlook.
Yeah, looks like it was Michigan.
It was Michigan? Okay.
Yeah, and that video is so electric. It's that's got to be a top 5 not sports. I'd say football moment.
It's definitely college football.
College football, but I think, college football. It's just the timeout after the first play. It's just something else. I don't know.
It's crazy how that all went down. But anyways, let's move on to the NBA here. So big news dropping last night: the Bucks will not be playing on Christmas for the first time since 2018. And there's a lot of backlash. They're saying that the NBA is kind of putting us out. They're saying they're kind of treating us like an old dog, saying, sorry, the time's over. We got to take you out to the shed, kill off all the momentum that you had going and say, nope, you guys aren't good enough for Christmas. But I don't think it's the case. I think the NBA just wants to try something new. I wouldn't say that they think the Bucks are going to be failures. We're definitely still have some hype around us because, well, at least from our perspective as Bucks fans, because looking at the previous season, we had it where we got to the playoffs. It was a rocky road, a lot of coaches. I still don't think Doc Rivers is the guy. I just hope that, maybe he can do something with the team. Hopefully he's not completely useless. Hopefully there is some use we can get out of him. But, I mean, we got injured. That's just, it's simple. And you can use all the excuses you want. We got injured in the playoffs. That's why we lost first round. If we had Giannis, Dame, and Chris for a lot of those games, I feel like we would have beat the Pacers.
I think we could have went and beat the Celtics because we already did it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was without Giannis or Lillard. But we beat them without person, and it was just
yeah, it was just really rough. I mean, from a Bucks fan perspective, I think we actually did really good, considering we had a lot of our backups playing.
And our team was so on and off about wanting to be good. I know I love Bobby Portis, but he's a big liability.
Yeah,
and he's the mayor of Milwaukee, but I feel like we might have to.
He gets very heated.
Yeah,
that's his problem. He gets so heated, and it's dude, you just gotta take a chill, control the emotions. Do what Quay Walker did and like to do some like yoga or something. Quay Walker took those meditation classes over the summer after he got ejected twice, not last year, the year before, and it worked. I mean, he did amazing. So I mean, maybe Bobby needs that, but I know he's kind of got that reputation, like the crazy eyes and all that. He's like,
he's a punk.
Yeah, kind of.
I
He's
think
got that.
the Christmas game, I started like getting into basketball around 2018. So like every Christmas we just had a Bucks game. I guess it just didn't never occur to me how we had a Bucks game every year during Christmas. But to be honest, I wasn't even watching them. I was mainly watching the NFL.
I would say, the NFL is big during Christmas. I'm hoping to, not on Christmas, but 2 days before Christmas, hopefully going down to see the Packers take on the Dolphins in Lambeau. Because this year Christmas falls on a Wednesday, so I don't think they're going to have Christmas game. I could be wrong though, or even like a Christmas Eve game.
Yeah.
I think that Monday Night Football game is the closest we'll get. But I mean, Packers, they got a lot of they got a Thanksgiving game this year too. Hoping to see that, but maybe back to the Bucks. I think when it comes to Christmas games, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't look at a Christmas game schedule and be like, these are the top teams. Because like if you look at, again, throwing back to the NFL, they gave Amazon Prime like terrible games all the time.
Night.
Yeah, like Thursday night football games, they're always like the worst games. So just because like a primetime spot or a holiday spot gets taken away, I don't think that means anything. I think it's just network. It's just the NBA made a poor choice. I mean, a lot of people are saying they could have done Bucks Pacers on Christmas because both teams would have had the availability.
I do like that. But well, did they say what the Christmas games were, or?
Yeah, they do have the Christmas games. I didn't get it in my notes here, but they did post the full Christmas schedule. It's just a lot of people with the backlash of the Bucks not being on there. I think it's nothing too worrisome. I think we'll live as Bucks fans. Maybe we'll be the underdogs and we'll come up and show that we are deserving of a Christmas game once again.
All right, I pulled it up. This is from Shams, so it's pretty official. Spurs at Knicks, which the Spurs, they're almost. I think they just needed a point. I don't know why they traded Rob Dillingham, but Spurs at Knicks, it should be like if Victor Wembanyama is like balling out, I think that should be a good game. But I think Knicks got that. Timberwolves at Mavericks, that's a good game.
Oh yeah.
Sixers at Celtics, it's always pretty entertaining. Lakers at Warriors, which I don't know. I think they're just dragging out this whole
like LeBron and Curry thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously they're not really that competitive anymore. It's not 2018. It's not 2017 anymore.
Yeah, it'd be like putting like Brady versus Manning right now. I mean, I guess that'd be entertaining because they've both been retired for a bit now. But like, if you put 2000, what was Peyton Manning's last year? 2015,
16, because they won a Super Bowl and he retired.
Oh yeah, true. So 2016 Manning versus Brady, and I'm sure that did happen at some point during that season. I feel like it wouldn't be as entertaining. I mean, maybe because it's the last time they're ever gonna face off, but like I feel like old rivalries, you just gotta like not try to reignite those flames. Like even if it's for content purposes, like when rivalries die, they kind of die. Just like
they're kind of just beating on a dead horse right now.
Yeah, it'd be like Bucks Bulls. Like we're not really rivalries because we're two very very different teams.
But we used to be. But yeah. And then the last game is Nuggets at Suns. But I see somebody say, this is quite literally a horrible slate. Clippers versus Sixers and Knicks versus Celtics would have been better. Somebody said, where's OKC? I agree. OKC's got a lot of motion around them, I gotta say. They're just like the young team. They're kind of like the Packers in a way.
They're kind of like Texans almost.
They're like the Texans.
Yeah, like the Texans. Just a lot of like young talent.
Young talent.
Wazoo. Yeah,
like Shy's like CJ Stroud a little bit. I can see that.
Yeah. I mean, well, besides Josh Giddey. The Texans did not have Josh Giddey on the team, but...
Well, neither do the Thunder now. They're on the Bulls. He's on the Bulls.
Oh, he actually... I didn't see that. But, speaking of LeBron and Curry, Olympic basketball. I mean, USA, was it last night they beat Serbia?
Yeah.
Yeah,
very close game.
Very, very close game. We're gonna be going for the gold medal next game.
France.
Serbia put up a good fight, but USA, we built a super team this year. I can't lie. Noah Lyles got so much backlash for the world champion comments, and then he won gold, so that kind of shut up.
But then he got COVID.
Yeah, and then he got COVID right after. Actually, someone said that he had COVID and asthma during the race.
Oh,
which is actually kind of crazy to win gold with COVID.
If he did, then I mean, I don't have. People are in their feels about what he said. I don't care. Honestly, I'm kind of glad he said it because this is the best USA basketball team since 2012, I think. So.
We got crazy beef with Australia because they're like, well, if you do it per capita, do it per capita. It's like, no, the Olympics don't do medals per capita. It's like, no. It's like, just bring a good team, get some more people in your country. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's the Olympics, my guy. It's country versus country. They don't
But it's not like the Olympics isn't going to, like, win them a war or something.
Yeah. If you did it per capita, like, I forget, they did, like, the stats on it. There'd be, like, 2 African countries that have won 1 medal, but they're so small. They have like 70,000 people, and they won 1 medal. And it's like, you can't do that because you're going to have these tiny little countries that win a medal, win the entire Olympics. Like, that's just not feasible. You can't just have someone who wins one thing and be a tiny little country. That'd be like being from a small town America and
you win state or something.
Oh no, you win like 1 game in the whole season, and now you're a champion.
Yeah.
Like versus like okay, it'd be like if you had like a small Wisconsin town take on Los Angeles in like a series, and Los Angeles, beats them, but then they go and they face like another small town and they win. Well, now they're the champion because they have like the most wins per capita. It's like, no, you can't do that.
That's true.
It's like, I don't really like Australia, and then they have the comments like, "Oh, it's so good to beat America all the time." No, man.
You're
just trying to start stuff. I mean,
when their team is front run by Josh Giddey, I don't trust them. So
yeah.
But to get back to like the Olympic basketball, I mean, LeBron James is now like he's got to be more pushed forward in the GOAT agenda because of what just occurred. I mean, triple-double last game, pretty good. I like that. I think the fact that his rival for so many years is him and his rival are still front running a young Olympics team and not scoring the most, but like him, KD, and Curry, they're old now. They've been rivals, but they're still the big 3 in the Olympics basketball. It's just crazy to me. LeBron's 40 doing this. It's kind of just crazy to me. And he pushed himself way forward in the GOAT debate for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think just seeing this team play is kind of cool. Like, you think of like an all-star game, but generally that's, the West versus the East, so you're not actually getting a true all-star team. Like, this is something special. I mean, even just like the hype before the games when you got like all of them doing their signature pregame, rituals.
That was like the Avengers, yeah.
Yeah, it's so hype when you watch. It's like, I remember as a kid, like when watching the Olympics, I'd be like, I don't know any of these people because you're watching like curling or something, and you're like, I don't know any of these people. Like, they're not the big sports people on my TV that I see, like the NFL, NBA, MLB. But like this year, I feel like watching it, it's like, oh, Katie Ledecky, yeah, I know her.
Simone Biles, Dooney Lee, hit me up.
Yeah. I mean, we got some crazy good talent in out of the Olympics, and I think it's really fun to watch. Also, speaking of the Bucks, they released the top stadiums. So they did Brooksgate did a ranking based on reviews and just like fan opinion, and they ranked every single it was MLB and basically every of the big 4 besides the NHL. So MLB, NBA, NFL. Lambeau Field got the 1, which I think is well deserving. Classic stadium. It's amazing when you visit there. They got the Hall of Fame in there. They got Titletown. I mean, I know Titletown isn't part of Lambeau Field, but like just the atmosphere.
It's part of the experience.
Yeah, it's part of the experience of going to Lambeau Field. You have to go to Lambeau Field. It's on your top spaces to go. It's up there with Fenway or something, which I don't know where Fenway got 7. So yeah,
I do like this list though.
Yeah, AmFam just outside the top 10. It got the 11th spot, right below Target Field.
That's low-key shocking to me.
Yeah, I would say AmFam. I feel like doesn't have a lot that makes it like a great place to go. Like it's nice, but it's not like I'm not gonna put it at 11. It got put above like Coors Field, like
a Great American Ballpark. Okay, that view of the Ohio River is just like, I don't know. There's just something about the Red Stadium that I like, but Coors Field I'd say might be better.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna name Chase Field I like better, but even as a Brewers, this is like I think Target Field's better than I think every stadium
Yeah.
above the Brewers is
Oh
better,
yeah.
but I think there's like just a couple. I'd
Well,
say.
Lambeau Field. I actually don't know. Where is Kansas City on here? Where's their stadium? Arrowhead 38.
38.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, Lambeau and Arrowhead are two of the loudest stadiums, and they don't have a dome effect. And that's crazy to me. Being the loudest stadium without a dome effect is like that. To be honest, they're 1 and 2 for me. Lambeau and Arrowhead are the two loudest stadiums in the NFL. Which just, I mean, granted, they might be ranking these just off like non-game day atmosphere, just like, or even just like an event. You know, they're not ranking it necessarily on like, oh, what is the stadium like at its peak? Um, I heard a lot of people saying Yankee Stadium at 37 is way too high. Like they were like, "Oh my god, that's way too high. Like you got to drop that."
I don't know what it like. This is just kind of confusing to me because I don't know how SoFi's 85. They have like the best facilities.
Yeah, I don't know if like okay, this is just based off reviews. So, like, is it people having a bad time maybe at these
Maybe.
places? Or, like I get
I do like the three though.
I get the bottom two. Commanders in Oakland, Allegiant Stadium again, newer stadium. Don't get that. The Golden One Center, I understand. Levi's, kind of, I guess. The Intuit Dome, I don't. Are they done with that?
Yeah.
Okay, they finished it.
It's
It does look kind of nutty. I don't know why they have it. Like
maybe because they haven't played any games.
I suppose Intuit Dome, I think will go higher, but anyways, a big topic of conversation: Pfizer Forum at 53. It's pretty low compared to obviously the other two, 1 and 11, which I guess hard to beat. But
now that I'm looking at this list, I kind of agree. It's not like the best stadium. It's good stadium. I like the Bucks. I
mean, it doesn't help our our argument of getting an NHL team and putting it in Pfizer. Because there's a lot of stadiums.
I think that boosted up a bit more.
Yeah, there's a lot of stadiums on here that share with the NHL.
Yeah.
But I really do think that Pfizer could be higher. It just needs I don't know if it needs renovations or just like a better atmosphere.
It was really just built like 6 years ago, so it's like
yeah. I'm looking on here for Madison Square Garden, 27.
I don't know. That's really high. That's really high. I think Madison Square Garden should be above American Family Field. I think, and I think Dodger Stadium should be in front of American Family Field. But I like 1 Lambeau, 2 PNC, 3 Camden, 4 Busch, 5 Orc.
I also looked on here. Every single NL Central team, I believe, is in the top 15. Great American Ballpark is at 13. AmFam at 11. Wrigley at 8. Busch at 4 and Busch at 2. So, yeah, they're all in the top 15. Actually, top 13 if you want to get real specific. But that's kind of crazy to me. All the NL Central making top 15 in stadiums must mean something about the NL Central. Like, we got good stadiums.
Good stadiums, kind of like a mid division, but I kind of like the fact that it's mid. I don't like the real
yeah.
I mean, it's nice to have a competitive division, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of big teams here though that have pretty low ranking. Tropicana Field at 80, I understand. I went there once, and yeah, it's not that nice of a stadium. I mean, it's okay. I don't know. Also, with it being indoors, I feel like I really don't like any indoor. Maybe that's why SoFi and Allegiant are so low, because that indoor feel.
Yeah.
What's the highest ranked indoor? Probably this Heat, because I mean, basketball can't be played outdoors.
Yeah, it's Heat.
But the highest ranking indoor stadium that's not basketball related would be Lucas Oil's out. Lucas Oil can open up their roof, so I'll consider them kind of outdoors. I don't know. AT&T.
Chase Field can open there.
Yeah, so AT&T Stadium at 24th is the highest ranked indoor stadium. And Mercedes, but they can open theirs. I don't care for close. I do like the retractable roofs, the ones that can open, because at least you can get that outdoor feel.
Yeah.
But the ones that just completely are closed, like Tropicana, I just hate them. I feel like if you're in a sports environment, whether maybe I'm old fashioned for something like that, but I really like the idea of playing outside. Like Lambeau, I hope they never ever move on from Lambeau.
I don't think they will.
No,
If
I
they
mean
do, it'd
it's
be
so
too.
classic that, or even if they do, you got to keep the stadium up. You got to keep it alive because it's so classic. It's the oldest stadium. It used to be that used to belong to the Cardinals, but obviously they have recently moved on from their stadium. But otherwise, Lambeau Field, oldest stadium. I don't know if in all of sport. It wouldn't be all of sports because like obviously
Yankee or not? Yeah, Fenway.
Fenway's gonna be older, but
Fenway and Wrigley are older, I think.
oh yeah,
And
but
then
Lambeau is the oldest NFL stadium.
Soldier Field too.
No, Soldier Field is younger.
Oh, okay.
Or at least it had
72 though. I don't know. Soldier Field.
Well, they're gonna get rid of it now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's gone. So
I went there. It was pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. It just like I saw. I know it's supposed to shake, but like the stadium, I saw footage of like it's Taylor Swift. I don't know.
oh yeah, the lights like shaking.
That is low key crazy to me. From like, imagine if they had like Metallica there, or something.
Yeah.
That whole place is falling down.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. No, I think the list is good. You can look it up. Like I said, it's at Brooksgate on Twitter. You can look it up. It's really not a bad list.
I like it. I like it.
But I do think that, and obviously he didn't make this. Well, they made it, but like they found it on like they like kind of summarized it a point system. I assume they didn't just like this isn't like personal bias or anything. They just literally went off fan reviews and all that. So I mean, overall, I think it's a good list. I really hope that the Bucks can get maybe top like I don't want to say top 30. That's a bit asking a little bit much, but I guess we'll say top 30. I hope they can get up there with like a Madison Square Garden type. I think just some indoor renovations would help. But
Yeah.
Moving on, talking about the Brewers. I mean, we can talk about the Brewers facing the Atlanta Braves over the past 3 days. And it was in the Braves' hometown, so Braves had the home field advantage. 3-game series, and they beat them every single game, scored double digits every single game. Here's some stats for you. 52 hits over the 3 games, 34 runs, 19 walks, 8 home runs, and 6 stolen bases, which no other team in MLB history has reached all of those over a 3-game span. Like, that's against the Braves. Now, Grant, you could say no Albies, no Acuna, no Michael Harris. You could bring up that argument. They didn't have their like 3 big players, and I was just talking earlier about the Bucks who didn't have their big 3. But I think just to beat like Chris Sale, like for instance, they had their pitching core pretty well out there, and to score that many runs off their pitching core, that's just nuts. Like, could the Braves maybe have beat us probably game 2 because it was like an 8-5 win? Actually, yeah. So I guess they didn't score 10 plus every game. That's my bad. They scored 8 the second game, but the Braves could have probably beat us in the second game had they had Acuna, had they had Albies. But other than that, I think we still would have won. You just can't beat that 34 runs in 3 games. So you're averaging 11.3 runs a game. I mean, that's nutty.
It just shows that this series, I know the Braves didn't have their star players, but it just shows the Brewers are capable of pulling it off. It kind of is upset, but like they're contenders for sure now. And if Chourio stays like this for the rest of the season, I think we could make a deep playoff push, even possibly World Series. I don't think our pitching is quite World Series.
Yeah, well, Chourio, he went 8 for 16. He had 5 runs scored, 2 home runs, and 4 RBI, which is really good. I saw his 2 home runs were both in Game 3, which I saw them, and it was like he hit the first, and I know I was going crazy because we were up like 13-3, and I'm like, there's no way like this game can get any crazier, and boom, just another home run. Contreras was also really big. He would go 7 for 15, 5 runs scored. And he also had a home run and had 7 RBI, which was a team high for this 3-game stretch. You can also mention Ortiz. He played really well. They had him at shortstop and third base throughout. He went 500. He went 7 for 14, 2 runs scored, 4 RBI. I mean, yeah, it's pretty good how we did. You could also throw out guys like Adames did really well. Garrett Mitchell hit one of the home runs. He's my favorite Brewer by far. Just our depth is crazy, and we didn't have Yelich. So I mean, if you want to bring up the Acuna debate, guess what? We didn't have Yelich. So there, that kills off the. Well, I shouldn't say kills off. That kills off probably the Albies and Harris. I wouldn't put Yelich up there with Acuna, but he is up there with Albies and Harris.
Yeah.
He's getting old, and I do feel bad for Acuna. I mean, tear your ACL like that and be out for the rest of the season. That's just terrible. I mean, Braves fans, you got to be hurting. Like that's your whole season down the drain right there. You could kind of salvage it. I mean, if I look at the standings right now, Braves are currently sat at what is that, seventh? Yeah, seventh right now in the NL. 60-54, 8.5 games behind first. So I mean, they're not in the play. They're right outside the playoffs. So yeah, I mean, like Braves, just outside that playoff mark. They could probably work their way back in though. The Brewers, I think, are gonna lock up the playoffs here.
Yeah.
I mean, what the magic number is 41 right now, I think. So, magic number obviously like combined wins and losses of the Cardinals and Pirates, but yeah. So I mean, I think come like late September we should lock up a playoff spot. I don't know if we're gonna get first seed. We're currently 3 games behind the Dodgers, 3.5 behind the Phillies. I'm sorry, not 3 games behind the Dodgers. We're half a game behind the Dodgers. So 3.5 behind the Phillies, half a game behind the Dodgers. So I think if we can just get a second seed, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Automatic right into the divisional. I mean, that's.
Can we play the Mets or Diamondbacks? Probably.
We play the Diamondbacks. So we play them. I know for a fact we play the Rockies, who are dead last, and I swear if we lose, we struggle with the Rockies at Coors all the time, but it's coming to the AmFam. I'm going. Well, we are going to one of the games.
Oh yeah.
Of Rockies and Brewers. So if they lose, that's not going to look good. Us losing to the very last team in the NL. Well, it would be worse if we lost to the White Sox, which we'll get to later. But Chourio, going back to him real quick, he is the youngest player right now to hit 2 home runs in a game for the Brewers.
I would have thought like Yount did it, or I don't know. I guess youngest player.
I forget who was right above him. It was. I can't remember the name exactly, but he beat him by like almost a full year, which is kind of crazy.
Wow.
And so that brings up the debate: should Chourio be in the talks for Rookie of the Year? Because he's not even in the talks, which is crazy. Like no list I looked up have him, or one list had Ortiz up there, and I'm like, I don't know if I'd put Joey Ortiz above Jackson Chourio. Chourio, I feel like really could go for Rookie. I mean, obviously
if he keeps this up,
he's not going to win, but I just want him to be in the talks at least. Like Skeens is going to win. I feel like if Skeens, doesn't blow out even if he does blow out his ACL, he'll probably still be in the talks. But as long as Skeens doesn't mess up big, do what the Braves did, allow like 16 runs and 8 runs in 2 innings or something like that. As long as Skeens keeps up good work, he'll win. Plus, they're gonna love the whole Skeens and Livy Dunn thing. It's like the Kelsey and Swift of baseball right now. I would say I think every sport besides, right? I don't think hockey or basketball have like a dynamic, like 2 celebrities get together. Like I don't think so.
I mean, to be fair, in the NBA, it's usually like short term. Like it's not like anything too crazy.
Yeah.
I can't think of one right now, but I'm pretty sure there is. Maybe like, I guess LeBron and Savannah James. There's that goated to the fact that they're probably the couple of the NBA.
Yeah, but I feel like right now Skeens and I kind of want to see them. I don't know if you know the match. It's like a golf thing. Like
No.
Rogers did it. Rogers versus Mahomes, or Rogers versus Brady. I think it was. I want to see Livy Dunn and Paul Skeens go 1-on-1 with Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. I want to see that in like a golf.
If that happens, I don't think that. I think Taylor Swift's too big for it.
Yeah, I don't think Taylor Swift golfs. Livy Dunn might. She seems like the kind to golf. Paul Skeens, I definitely think that a lot of baseball players golf. It's a good hobby that they pick up. And then Kelce, I feel like for sure golfs. He just, again, Chelsea seems like the kind of guy who goes out on the golf course just hammered,
Oh yeah.
and then he'll hit like just nothing but he'll either do amazing or terrible. It's like no in between. But anyways, moving on to our last little segment of other news. College football 25 released bit probably like a little over a month ago now.
Yeah.
I've been playing it a lot. Keegan, you came over, you played it a little bit. We're gonna play some here today. So how do we like the game? I guess coming from someone who's played it and someone who's anticipating to he played a little bit, like probably 5 or 6 games, and I really think it's a good game. I think EA they definitely came back.
Yeah.
It's a good. It's worth the money. Like invest in it. Madden. I don't want to hype up Madden of all games, but like if how the trailer looks, with how everything looks, if it is just like college football and how it is played, and has the added features they were talking about, and like better presentation, like Roger Goodell actually holds up your player's jersey when you draft them, and like things like that. Just the little stuff that used to be in the old games, but they got rid of. You know, if they can just hit on all those marks, Madden will actually be a good game again. If they can just make the gameplay actually good and improve the presentation, I mean, they already have 2 new commentary teams, which I don't think any game has. MLB has 2, and college football has 2. NBA has 2.
I don't know.
Yeah, they have the Kevin Harlan team, and then they have the other.
Okay.
I forget what team the other one is, but a lot of games have 2 commentary teams. They have 3. Now, granted, one of them I guess is really annoying. There's a girl on there who has like a really like I don't want to say cringy, but like cringy voice. She's just not a very good commentator. Like she was like she said something like it's the big time play or something like that. It was just very like why would you say that? It doesn't feel very, I'm definitely going to choose the Greg Olson and can't remember his name. He was on Sunday Night Football. He's a commentator for Sunday Night Football. I'm definitely going to choose those 2 because they're the ones you see on TV, and it's going to sound probably the most realistic. It's going to be like the most give you that real vibe of like I'm playing an NFL game. I also can't wait to transfer my college football player over and like have him play in the NFL. My guy won the Heisman, so he better be first overall, or at least he's gonna be first round for sure.
Well, I think they're gonna have you go to the what's it called? The combine. I just want to know how that works because that's gonna make or break this game.
I'm about to say you just all it said was okay. So when you finish a college football, a little bit of a spoiler alert here, but when you finish a college football your senior year, it just cuts to 2 options. It says retire from like college football or whatever, which I'm sure there are some players who do just end up being like, I've had a good career. Or, maybe if you suck that bad and you don't think you can make it in the NFL, you just retire. And then there's leave for the NFL, which if you click that, it'll have you export your player to Madden, which all it is like it thinks for like 5 minutes or so, and now it says it's done. So I guess when you boot up Madden, as long as you're on the same account, it'll recognize that you have that player, which is kind of nice. So if you make multiple players, you can export multiple players, so you can like have multiple different careers. I really think career mode is fun. I did endure the glitch that gave me a really good player early on, so I was able to have like a really good player really quick. Even though I picked underdog, so I started at Northwestern, went to USC for 2 years. They got a really bad coaching staff all of a sudden, so I left my final year for Wisconsin. Was gonna win them a natty, and we lost because my receiver dropped the ball in overtime, and I just put down the controller for a bit. And I was like, I am that. It's fun. It wasn't like a rage loss, like something like a glitch happened or something. No, it was legitimately just I had terrible wide receivers. So I do like that aspect of college football that glitches don't seem that like make or break. The one glitch I know I've seen a lot is like you'll get some crazy like your quarterback will be falling down and he just hurls up like a perfect pass. But they had a humongous like I mean absolutely it was just gigantic update to the game. Yeah, last night, something like that.
Like yesterday.
Yeah, it was sometime during yesterday. It was a huge update. Apparently, they patched a ton of stuff. They updated a ton of stuff. It looks really
They
good.
nerfed the spin move.
Yep.
They brought new jerseys to
Oregon. Notre Dame was one of them.
Notre Dame might have been one of them. They were pretty clean jerseys though.
Yeah.
It's a good update because this is probably the best EA has been on listening to the fans since like I don't even remember. But like having a patch or like having an update this quick that fixes the crazy spin move.
Yeah, it was so you could abuse that. It was like Michael Vick in Madden 06, 07, I
Yeah,
think it was. It was just like you could abuse that so much. It was
but I think it's a pretty good update. But from my viewpoint, it's like it was really fun to play. But like I keep watching YouTube videos, and it's like there's so many things you can do on this game, and it's such a good thing for like I gotta say content creators because
oh yeah.
they're putting on wagers on college on these games, but they're also creating Road to Glory players. They're doing Ultimate Team. They're doing all this, and the Ultimate Team looks really good. I haven't played it,
Neither have
but
I.
it just does look good. The cards. I mean, this is like what people want. They wanted college cards
Oh yeah.
in Madden, but now they can just put them in this. It's
Yeah.
just I like it.
I just cannot wait for. Well, I already love the team builder. Like it is so in depth. You can do literally whatever you want besides mess around with stadiums, which I get. I mean, MLB has a stadium creator, and it's
That's
like,
kind of different though
yeah,
because yeah,
yeah. I mean, it's hard to create stadiums for like football. I mean, yeah, I guess you could kind of like I could see how you could do it, but I think it's just smart, or they could have done something stupid like they could have had like every single creative team have the same like three stadiums, kind of like in Madden when you would like build an expansion team, you got to choose from like three different like stadium types, whether they had a roof or not, and then everything was very generic. No, you pick another college's field, it changes the crowd, it changes the scoreboards to have like your logo on them, and everything else stays the same. So like if a building has like okay, like if you go to Michigan and on like the building itself it has like dates they won the championship, those will stay. Which that's I guess that kind of discourages you from wanting to pick the bigger stadiums, but if you don't care about the small things like that, it's a really, really fun thing to mess around with. High schools are so easy to make. Like I made our high school in like an hour or so, and I have three alternate jerseys. I have our full football field and everything. I will say, I think it's not Kennesaw State. The stadium that has a track around it. That one is great for high school because it looks like you're in a high school. The track really adds to that. Like it's a multi-use field. I know not all high schools have that, and there are some high schools that have an actual like really nice football field, but for your average local high school, it's a great stadium to choose because the surrounding environment it looks like a high school. But yeah, college football 25, I would easily buy this. I mean, it's going to be a great game. I think it'll hold up. Hopefully the 26. If yeah, I would imagine they're going to make it
oh yeah.
26. Hopefully they add some requested things. Like I know cross-platform dynasties are going to be hard to make, but they definitely want those. I haven't got yet to play a dynasty with anyone yet. It is only for next gen, which kind of sucks. Not a lot of people have next gens.
I'd say
You know,
I think a lot more people have next gens now, but just like not everybody.
is going to put money down
Yeah,
like on a new
exactly,
console just for a game.
exactly.
Like,
But I thought about it. It just like if I bought it, it put me like pretty like I have enough money, but I just wouldn't have a lot of other money for other stuff. So it's like I'm
yeah,
not gonna do that. But I think the creativity that you can do with this game is pretty amazing, and it's just a good game, and it's probably EA's one of their best.
all right. But moving on. I know we talked about it a little earlier. The White Sox are laughably bad right now. They are 20. What is it? 20 something and 88, 21 and 88,
I
something
think
like
so.
that.
I think
And
so.
they have been on, well, they were at one point on a 21 game losing streak that they broke to the Oakland A's, who are, I believe, the second worst team in baseball. So, yeah, we really had bad timing with that. I think if they faced any other team besides the A's, they would have eventually broken that streak, or they would have broken the record for, they could still break the record. Um, yeah, I also find it very funny about the whole storyline that when they would have broken the record for most consecutive losses, they were going to have a fireworks show against the Cubs, and so it was going to be like a packed out stadium because you're going to have Cubs fans that are going to want to come see it. But to have a fireworks show after after they would have broken the loss, or even if they or broken the streak, or even if they would have won the game and they wouldn't have broken the streak to have the fireworks, I think it would have been a great game. I would want that game nationally televised, no matter how bad it is, because like that's just some that's money right there, just sitting like waiting to be collected.
Oh
But
yeah.
no, the White Sox though laughably bad. They got a new manager, Grady Sizemore.
Hmm.
So hopefully I know former baseball player. Hopefully he does pretty good with the White Sox.
It reminds me a lot of the Pistons, gotta say.
Yeah,
But I think the Pistons actually were like I felt bad for the Pistons. I don't feel bad for the White Sox. I don't know why. Like the Pistons, because there were some close games. Like I remember there was a game against the Celtics where the Celtics were almost the team to lose to them, but I forgot who actually lost to them. But I think
Magic maybe.
it might have been the Magic or it was the Wizards. It was the Wizards.
Oh yeah, Wizards.
Because Kyle Kuzma would be nobody wants to be that team, and then he ended up being that team.
Yeah. The White Sox, though, I hear that they might want to relocate, like sell the team,
Oh
relocate.
jeez! Oh
Which
no!
I don't know where you're gonna relocate. Like, I don't have. This is a really long talk. This might be a whole nother like topic, but like, where would they even go? Louisville,
Indianapolis,
the Bats, like the Louisville Bats, like
that's already a team though.
Oh, that is.
It's a minor league team. Yeah.
I suppose. Well, maybe they could get the rights, and the Louisville Bats could become a major
I like
league
Indianapolis.
Team. Yeah, that's
because that's close, but they just got that South Side Chicago heart. I don't. That's so tough. I don't.
Someone said they ought to build one in like the highest like point somewhere, just to have like a home run crate, like really like have like a Fenway Park, but like put it up in like a rocky elevation.
Ooh.
Like that's like some like creative stadium thing. Like
yeah, but I don't know. That's like Salt Lake City. What?
You have to put it like Wyoming or something like that, just somewhere out of the blue. But no, there's some really good places they could move to. I feel like down
Nashville.
I feel like that middle, like Indiana, Nashville, Kentucky area, they don't have anyone to like cheer for. So I give them a team for sure.
I think Nashville should get a team for sure.
Yeah,
or not Memphis. I don't know. Nashville is just like because you got people.
Does North Carolina have a team? Or any of the Carolinas?
No.
Yeah, so like anywhere in there really.
Yeah, it's true.
Just that whole like middle of the country. But yeah, so moving on to what will be our last topic today.
Unsports related.
Unsports related, and definitely a bit of a heavy topic. Right now, there seems to be quite the pattern. Every single month, we got a new YouTuber, a new celebrity who's coming out as pedophile. And it's like, what is going on? Mr. Beast right now, at the height of all this controversy, he, with Chris Tyson, and I'll admit he's not been handling it very well.
Mm-mm.
There's a lot of speculation. Jake the Viking, the old person who used to be with the Mr. Beast crew, he's been posting all over Twitter, and he's been like, I've been doing this, and like.
There's also another thing that Mr. Beast hired, and like he knew that the dude was a pedophile, and he like the dude went to jail for it.
And he like put a mask on the guy to like hide his identity.
Yeah, and he still put him in the video. And I think he knew, but I don't know. Jake the Viking's also weird to me because why did he wait for all this to come out?
Like, I feel like, especially maybe he didn't want to come out as like a clout chaser. Like people would have, like if he would have said all this stuff and just dropped
but if he said it like 5 months ago, I don't think anybody would bat. Like I don't think I don't think anybody would be like, oh, he's clout chasing.
But like Mr. Beast, bro, I just gotta know what's running through your mind. You're at the peak, like the literal top of the universe, bro. Like you are seen as this godsend, right? You're giving away all this money. Watch that be the next thing. Like they come out and say like he actually was secretly like never giving away any of this money. Like that'd be crazy.
That'd be pretty hard. I mean,
I find that would hard to believe though. I think
I knew Mr. Beast. I like had a feeling that Mr. Beast was like. I was like, there's no way he hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah.
To be.
I mean, they were all going crazy when he got like fake arrested or whatever for the video or whatever, and people were like, "Oh my god, Mr. Beast just got arrested. What did he do?" And no, but like, it's crazy how all these YouTubers and all that. Because you had like, I mean, Diddy not too long ago. You had Cody Co. You have
Josh Giddey.
You have Josh Giddey.
You have Chris Tyson. Yeah.
Wander Franco.
You have what's his name? I mean, Tumat, he died, but that's like somebody else too is like
Yeah, who else
Found guilty.
recently? Like,
I'll have to look it up then.
but like, yeah, it's crazy to me how y'all like. It's like I know they joke on there like the second that you become famous, boom, you got to start like talk. Oh, Doctor Disrespect,
Oh yeah,
Doctor
yeah.
Disrespect, the other big one. It's like how like. I'm wondering how is all this just coming out this year? Like, how are people finding out all this? Like, is there some new technology out there where it's like
I think it's just more. It's just unfortunately more current or more concurring.
Yeah.
Since you March, I don't know if you T Nichols.
Oh
T
yeah.
Nichols, he got
Yup.
then Drake, I guess, in May.
Oh
But I think
nothing. I don't think was ever. Well, was anything ever confirmed for
well,
Drake,
I
or
think
was it just?
he acts weird. I mean, there's that video of him kissing that 17-year-old on
Yeah.
stage.
So like, it's kind of there. It was definitely a big thing with the beef, the Kendrick Drake
Oh, yeah.
beef. That was definitely the big like selling point on that. But I mean, who's gonna be this month? People are already saying, oh, it's there's a big thing for a while from Elon Musk, but that never went anywhere. Um, People already said that Kai Cenat's cameraman.
Okay, that's not. I don't think he's big enough, and
Yeah, that's just like a cameraman.
I just want to say,
Did Kai Cenat know about it?
no,
Yeah,
there's no way.
so
There's no way he knew
so
about it.
like nothing really. There's nothing bad there. It's just like a random guy. Like in my opinion, it'd be like saying, "Oh, the camera guy for NBC." Like we don't give a fuck. Like no one cares.
I think, okay, there's a more personal level to what they had, but I don't think they knew what he was doing. And I feel bad for Chris next door for having the same name
my
as
God.
that goofy boy. I don't know. I love Chris next door, and I heard Chris from AMP. I got so scared. I was like, "No, Chris, I know you didn't do this, bro." But
That's how I was with Cody Ko when I first heard about it. I was like, "There's no way he did that, bro." I was like, "He's been the golden boy of YouTube." I mean, so is Mr. Beast, I guess.
no,
I
I
was
don't, Cody
trying-
Ko been through some.
He did some bad stuff for like back in like 2018, 19, 20. But like
Chris next door is different. I like Chris next door is a real good guy. It's a real good dude right there.
Yeah.
Probably, that's my favorite member out of AMP. But I was like, I just felt like there's no way. But then I saw Chris be the cameraman, and I was like, oh, thank God. I mean, not thank God. It's still pretty crazy, but it's like it's not Chris next door. But did you see? There was a complex. That's what it was. They released the article, and it was Chris next door on the cover, and they said Chris like it was like Chris next door or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was Chris V. So like he's about to get that lawsuit. Good. He's about to get that lawsuit.
Oh
money.
yeah. Oh yeah. No, but definitely a bad scenario overall.
Oh, yeah.
I think hopefully YouTube can recover and we have some good news coming out. Like we have, I don't know, well, like a new, and okay, it's gonna sound bad, a new Mr. Beast, but like minus the pedophilia stuff. You know, just having like another good YouTuber, like having a PewDiePie again, something like that. Having like a kids YouTuber that like
I
is.
say it's Kai. I say it's Kai Cenat.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say Queso too. Queso's
Queso,
been really sketch.
I guess I'm more of a
They've been
sketch
kind
guy
of
than a Jinxie or Queso guy.
Yeah,
And
but yeah, that'll about wrap it up here for this episode. Make sure to follow us on all social media. At TikTok is at Jordan Love Season 10. Name probably gonna change pretty soon, but for now we're gonna keep it at that. I post like highlights and just little I don't say memes or whatever, but like little commentary bits on what's going on, little joke, little trends, things like that. Follow us over. Follow us on Spotify too. Follow the podcast. We also have Instagram. It's Bucks Cheese Beer Podcast on Instagram and on YouTube. Other than that, y'all have a good one.
yep. Adios.